2. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. Test 1 2. Testing 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 1 2. Test testing 1 2. Test 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. Test 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Test 1 2 3. Testing test. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Test. Testing 1 2. Test 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. Test 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Test 1 2 3. Testing test. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Test. Testing 1 2. Test 1 2. Test. Test 1 2 3. Testing test. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 2. Testing 1 2. Test. Testing 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test. Test. Test 1 2. Test. Test. All right, let's test this out again. Let's see. It's going to drive me nuts. I think it should be in sync. Let me know if you're in here. I don't expect much people to jump in now after the debacle, but let's see if I can get a few of you in here to just test a little bit. I'll even play some guitar if you want. Let's see. One person's in here. Tell me if you're in here. Tell me if it's in sync now as far as the audio goes. Let me know. 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Showing that it's working here. Let me bring this up. If you want. Looks like it's in sync on my end. One person's in here. Tell me if you're in here. Tell me if it's in sync now as far as the audio goes. Let me know. 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1. Looks like it's okay on here. I'm not sure we have all the things figured out, but let's see. All right, let's see. A few people jump in here. Test 1 2 and a testing 1 2. Let me know if you are in here. Let me just grab my guitar. All right, Joe, let me know if it's okay. It is? All right. Well, it looks like it's okay. I don't know if it's going to work. It might glitch again. I have no idea. The only thing I did was I went into my encoder and I set it to 480p instead of 720p because I think my internet might be really struggling to give you 720p. So I changed it. It seemed to fix the sync issue. I don't know if my video will get all weird because my monitor is okay. It's okay right now, but I don't know if it's going to stay that way or not. All right, well, that's good. All right, well, that's okay so far. Well, let's carry on a little bit anyway. I know I'm way late. This was supposed to start at 7. I'm going to scrap the whole regular show format that we usually do, and we'll have some fun for half an hour or so, and we'll say that was the test. And I'll give you a proper show maybe sometime this week. If not, then next Monday for sure, once I get all the little bugs figured out. But it's a combination of things, really. It's my internet connection. Sometimes it's not fast enough to take what I'm sending it, because I'm sending it a lot of data when it comes to audio and video. So we'll have to play with that a little bit and see if we can figure it out. Let me try. Let me see if these graphics are working now. That seems to work. All right. So with all that bullshit, let's. I think I want to do a little rock and roll jam, get some frustrations out, and let's hope it doesn't break while I'm doing this. If you want to join along, it's an A minor. Let me give it a few seconds here. Let a few more people jump in, and then we'll get her done. Rick Hefner, what's going on, Rick Hefner? We've got James Severin in the house. Sorry about the technical difficulties we were having. I'm not even sure if it's fixed yet, but we're hoping it is. Had to make a few changes. It might be okay, but we'll see. BV Ninja, what's going on, my friend? Yeah, bandwidth is not able to cope with what you're streaming at 720. That's the problem, I think. But I still think I'm having an issue with a connection here to the monitor that I'm looking at, and that's what's sending the stream to YouTube. That's why sometimes the video got all glitchy. So I got to really figure that out, because all this stuff that I'm doing here, I have to use for, like, not just my streams that I'm doing here, but for work, to create educational content, medical education. That's what I do for a living. And now I'm doing it all remotely. I'm not doing it from the studio in Mississauga. So I'm using all this same gear. So that's why it's very important that I figure this out, because the stuff that I'm doing tonight, I can't have that happen on my, on a work project or something, because that would not be too good. Not be too good. So it looks good. All right. Looks good. All right, let's do a quick jam. You want to join? It's a A minor jam. Give me 1 second here. Just to get some frustrations out, right? All right, let me change camera. Hopefully I don't break this. We got the back camera. That's working, that's working. Okay. I'm going to shut the mic and I'm going to play the song. All right, I hope you guys can join. Artist formerly known as Brian Cote is back. Yeah. Back for now. Let's hope it works. All right, well, you should still be seeing me and hearing me. So let's go back to that camera if I can, without screwing anything up. Here we go. I'm back. Okay. All right, here it comes. So far, so good. Are we still rocking and rolling? Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Is it still in sync? All right. Looks like it's still in sync. For those of you who are interested, this is the R9 tonight, playing the R9, and I know a lot of you guys like to see the patch that I'm using and the settings, so let me see if I can bring that up. Let's see, make it heavy. It's working, good. All right, let me see if I can bring the screen. Oh my god, just so many buttons. The screen will be the helix. And I need to do that, helix. And there's the helix. All right, so let's have a look at the patch if you want to know what the sound is all about. So this is my, I guess, my main patch, really. It's using, well, it's one of my main patches. I use a Marshall Plexi most of the time as my main amp, but here I'm using a Mesa amp model, Cali rectifier, triple rec, and those are my settings. I don't know if you guys can see the settings clearly on the screen. I hope it's okay. But the drive on the amp itself is about 3.5, because this is a really gainy amp to start with. So I'll just turn this down for a second. And the bass is kind of low because I have a lot of the bass coming from the IR, which is the cab model. And here's the cab model I'm using, which is a 412, vintage 30 412. And I do a little bit of a low cut on it just to kind of take out any woofiness or anything like that when I'm really, like when you muff when you do a lot of chugging. I like to have that as tight as possible. And the other thing that helps with tightening all that stuff up is putting an overdrive in front of your amp. But you'll see that my overdrive is set to the gain really low and then the level a little higher, like at 7.2 in this case. And I just play with the tone to give it to give it what I like as far as my tone. So you get the idea. Again, I've got the compressor in the patch, but it's not activated when I'm on my gain sound. I just activate it if I'm on the clean sound. So if you guys want to hear the clean sound, I get a little bit of chorus in there. And the amp that I'm using for the clean sound is on the same preset, but it's just when I hit the switch, it activates this amp instead of the Mesa rectifier. And this amp is a Jazz Rivet, which is my go-to clean amp all the time. Anytime I'm doing any type of clean stuff is using the Jazz Rivet 120 is what they call it in the Helix, but it is a Roland 120 chorus or jazz chorus. And it's probably not even... There's a clean sound, and I'm using the same cabinet. Sometimes I'll put another block in here in my Helix, and I'll put maybe a 212 cabinet in there, or maybe a 112 when I'm switching to the clean sound and activate that cabinet. But for this one, I kind of like this 412 in there, and I just keep the one cabinet, and I just change between the amps and stuff. So just for you guys that are nerds about this stuff, I figured I always show the patch that I'm using for whatever sound that I'm playing that night. So let me go back to this. If you have any questions about that, just go ahead and post it in the chat. Let me go back to my shot here. All right. Well, so far so good. We seem to have the audio in sync now. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Great jam, Gussie says. Thank you. All good. Badass R9. Yeah, the R9 is, well, all the Les Pauls that I have, I really, really love them. My custom is amazing. The R6 with those P90s is just, when I'm playing blues and stuff, it's the one I go to most of the time. But the R9 is a kind of, it can do everything. It's a really good guitar. And I enjoy it. So let's see, Metalhead Hippie, what's going on, my friend? Metalhead Hippie has a great show on Sunday nights and Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern. Check that out. He's a good dude, and he plays a lot of content from the whole community that puts out videos and jams and stuff, and he plays it on there. So I've discovered some new people on there while watching his show. So really good. I like to see folks that do stuff for the community, and he's definitely one of them. Let me see if I miss anything else here. All right, I'm just checking here. Janice is in here. And again, folks, this is, I called it Test Monday because my regular Monday Night Ramble thing and all the stuff that I had, my news and all that other stuff, it got kind of screwed up with the whole thing in the beginning, and so I did a few tweaks. It seems to be working now, but let's hope it lasts. But again, thanks for jumping back in here and putting up with some of this stuff and helping me test a little bit. At least it's not a total loss. But, shit happens. Great. Venzini's in the house. So, all right, let me put this away, and I'll just tell you a little bit about what I've been up to since I have been away for a few weeks, and some folks have been asking where you've been, what's going on. So, hold on. All right, move some of this stuff out of the way. Let's hope that everything is still working properly. So yeah, I took a few weeks off, and it wasn't for any reason other than I just needed a little bit of a mental break because I've been going crazy at work for the last 13 weeks. We've been producing shows every week, and it's all around COVID and all that stuff. So Monday nights, you've done it all week, and it's just, I just needed a break basically. And I had a lot of technical stuff that I was still working out here, and as you can see tonight, I'm still working out. So it was good to take a little break. The other thing is, it's summer. We've got nice weather. I want to take advantage of some of that time. And, I go out for rides on my motorcycle. And now I started mountain biking again, as some of you who follow me on Facebook have seen. I used to mountain bike back, 4 years ago maybe was the last time I did it. And I gave it up. I don't know why I gave it up. I just lost interest or something. I don't know. I was doing motocross, so it was kind of hand in hand. It's getting in shape and doing motocross, and that was helping me to get in shape to do that. But when I stopped the whole motocross stuff and everything, I kind of stopped doing that. But over the last couple of weeks, 2 years, it's going to be 2 years now in July that I've been doing the keto diet, and lost a ton of weight since starting that, and feel great and have lots of energy. So when you feel good and you've lost the weight and you don't seem to be struggling for energy and stuff, you're not tended to go and work out like you used to because you needed to lose weight or whatever. So I haven't been working out that much, and I was starting to feel like, okay, I got to start doing stuff to get my cardio back up and feel better, and for your health. I think it's important. So mountain biking was always something I loved to do, so I got back into it. And just started last week, and it's tough. It's tough when you get back into it. I'm telling you, I did a ride this morning before work because for some reason we lost power here. When I woke up this morning, we had no power. So I told my wife, well, let's grab the bikes, put them in the truck, and let's go do a 1 hour, 1.5 hour before we start work. So at 7 a.m. we were out on the trails today. I did about 15 kilometers on the trails today. And it is a super workout. I'm telling you right now, if anybody wants to do cardio, get a mountain bike and go try that, because my heart rate was at about 155 to 165 the whole, and we did about probably 65 minutes or something when I looked at my watch, the total ride time, and it was at that 155 to 165 heart rate the whole way through. But it's so much fun for me anyway. I like the trails. I like, I like motorcycles and I like bicycles as well. But that is kind of like really, really cool to get out there, and it's in the woods, and it's really cool. So, but it is hard. I'm telling you, I won't lie, but I'm really enjoying it. So that's another thing that I've gotten into recently. So that's taking up some time. I did talk about motorcycling, and I want to start doing a couple of video things with the motorcycles. Let me show you. I've put together a rig on my helmet. I haven't started doing the filming yet, because when you film all that stuff in motorcycle, you gotta have to take the time to take all that footage and edit it, because you're not gonna just show 2 hours of motorcycle riding. You've got to kind of cut it and everything. So let me show you that I showed you the helmet I bought a few weeks ago. So now I've rigged it up to have like a GoPro and audio and everything. So let me just show you that. So as you can see, if you can, it's quite the rig. So I've got the GoPro on this side right here, and then I've got a mic that goes inside that connects to the GoPro, so I get my audio. And then on this side I've got this mic here goes down inside, so that's how that looks. But on this side I've got my Cena, which I can talk to my wife. She has the same unit, so we can talk to each other, and I can get music from my iPhone, and I've got speakers in the helmet. So the helmet is rigged up to go ahead and create content and do some stuff with. This is a GoPro 8, and I've got the media, I guess, cage. You can buy this cage, so it gives you extra connections, and if you're going to plug a mic into that, you're going to need that. But I've just rigged it all up on the weekend, and I haven't really filmed anything. I just wanted to get it ready to go, and I wanted to let that adhesive that holds the camera, I wanted to let that set before I went out on the road with it, because they say you got to let it set a few days before you put a camera on it and start riding down the road, because it could come off. So it looks like it's good to go. So in the next week or so, I'm hoping to get a little bit of footage and start to play with that and see. Yeah, it looks like a stormtrooper, right? Yeah. And the cool thing about this helmet is that, first of all, the visor comes up, right? But there's an inner visor in here. So you don't have to wear sunglasses. You can just wear your regular glasses, which I do. But this visor inside, like that. So basically now it really looks like a stormtrooper, because it's got that visor, right? So that's for the sun and everything. And if it gets really windy and stuff and you want to close it up, you can close that one as well. So now you've got the two visors. But the other cool thing is, when you stop somewhere and you want to get a drink or whatever, you can just lift the whole thing up. There you go. So it opens up. It's what they call a modular helmet, basically what it is. Wind resistant, doesn't twist your head to the... Well, I haven't really tried it with the GoPro, Brad, so that's one thing I'm going to have to see how much... I know that the Cena doesn't pick up any wind, because it's pretty close to the helmet, so that's not bad. But the GoPro, it sticks out there, so I'll have to see how that feels once I ride. But it's something you can take off quite easily, so I can take a little bit of footage and then take it off and put it in my saddlebag or something like that. But it's just something cool to work with. So the other thing. So that would give you your view of the road and the bike and stuff. And then I've got the other GoPro here that I'm going to... This is the other GoPro that I'm going to mount on the handlebars facing me. So as I'm riding, I can switch to different shots and stuff. But, with all that said, it's a lot of fun, and it's going to be a lot of footage, but it's a lot of time to edit that stuff. So I'm hoping... I'm going to be on vacation starting Thursday, so I'll have 2 weeks of vacation time, so I'll have some time to play and do some stuff that outside of work, which will be cool. So maybe I'll play with that and see how far that goes. Brian, I wish we could hook up. Yeah, Brian S., how's it going, man? Brian S. is here. Poo Ninja, yeah, we should hook up someday and go riding when all this horseshit finishes with the COVID stuff. I don't know when that's going to be, but someday. Brian S says not exactly aerodynamic. No, not with the camera. That's for sure. But I don't know. I see a lot of guys online that ride sport bikes and everything. And they've got those types of setups to do their vlogs with. So they do it. But I think the key is you're just doing it for portions of your ride. You're not capturing like the whole day or whatever. You can't. The camera wouldn't last the whole day. So you just do it, a nice country road. You want to capture some footage. You want to vlog or something. You do it that way, which is what I'm probably going to end up doing. Let's see. Gussie reminds me of Star Wars. Yeah, it does look like a stormtrooper for sure. No laser targeting, Poo Ninja says. No. Let's see. Fighter pilot. Yeah, it's a cool helmet. I do find though, because I'm really used to wearing like, the Harley helmets, like the half helmets and stuff. That's what I wore for last, I don't know, a long time since I've been riding touring bikes and stuff. So getting back into these adventure, more sporty type of bikes and stuff, I wanted that helmet. It's, more wind resistant and everything. But I'm telling you, I had to take some of the padding off the sides of your face because I find they squeeze your face too much and it takes a long time for them to break in. So I just remove a lot of the foam that's on the side of the face to make it fit a little easier. So, I haven't found that helmet that you buy off the shelf and you put it on and it's completely comfortable and you're good to go. I've always had to modify them a little bit. This is my second modular helmet. I bought one last year, which was a cheaper one, and it wasn't that good. So that's why I bought this one this year, thinking, and it's a lot better than the one I had. It's just really tight on your head for some reason. Let's see. Brad says my son Noah was filming when we went riding together. Oh, cool. He researched it for his camera. Seems mounting the camera to your chin. Yeah, some people put it on the chin, but the problem with that helmet is because it's a modular helmet and it moves up and down the cable for the mic and stuff, it's just, it gets awkward. So that's why I had to put it on the side, which is, we'll see how that works. It's a little bit of playing around with it to see if it works. Let me see. Do we got anything else? James says you need to paint a picture of your R9. No, I don't mix the R9 with the helmet and the motorcycling. Let's put it that way. I tend to keep those two worlds separate as much as possible. Do they make a mount for double chin? Double chin, yeah. Jay Leno is hilarious. Yes, he does look hilarious when he puts that helmet on because he's got such a long face, right? So anyway, that's kind of the stuff that I've been doing the last couple of weeks is working on that and trying to get back into shape with the mountain biking stuff. I'm getting a different mountain bike, and I'll keep you up to date with that, which is going to be very cool. It's some new technology that's out there, and it looks really interesting. Not cheap, but it looks really interesting. I'll be trying it out this week. I'll let you guys in on that stuff once I figure if I'm going that way or not. But it is cool. The other thing that's been going on in my life is I don't know about you folks, but I'm a guy that every 10 years, 12 years or whatever in my life span, I'm 50 years old now, but I can't count from 1 year old to 10, but from 10 to 20 and then 20 to 30 and 30 to 40, 40 to 50, I've always needed a change, or there was something that I kind of pivoted and went a different direction I don't know, I'm just built that way, I guess. Again, when I turned 20, I decided I'm moving from my small town and I'm going to pursue music, and I'm moving to the big city. I had $150 in my pocket. I borrowed a friend's van, loaded up my gear in a dresser and a mattress, and off I went. And, that was kind of turning point one. And then from the 20-year-old to the 30-year-old living in Toronto, pursuing music, I also had a full-time job delivering windshields, if any of you know what that's like. But it was one of those things, I get in the truck every morning and I fill it up with windshields and I go deliver it to all the stores that needed them and stuff. And I knew at that point that wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I, in 97, when computers started to get real popular and, Windows 97 and stuff was coming out, I went and got myself, I took night courses and stuff and got educated enough to do websites and work in networking because I figured that's where the industry was going. And if I was going to pursue a career outside of what I was doing and still do music, that would be a direction. So I did that. So I think it was in 2000, I left the job that I was in and I transitioned and I joined the college that I'm with now as a web designer and, programmer and so forth. And I did that I'm still with them, but from 2000 to 2010, that 10-year span, that's what I did. I built websites. And then at 2010, I knew that I wanted to try something different. And I was kind of getting burnt out on the website stuff. Again, my brain was starting to think I need to do something different. I don't know why I'm like that, but so I transitioned into doing camera, video and multimedia and that type of stuff. And my work was very gracious to let me, transition, because that wasn't a thing at the college. It wasn't a department. It wasn't even a service. And my work said, we're going to give you the opportunity to build that service up, and then we'll give you a 6-month trial, and we'll see where everything goes. And if it works, you can keep on doing it. If not, you can go back to doing your web work. So that's what I did, and it worked out. So I've been doing that ever since. I've been doing the live streaming and the videos and all that stuff for the college. And so now, not that I'm looking to transition out of that world. I love doing that. But I'm looking at, with this whole COVID thing that happened and we're all working remotely, it opened up a whole lot of different, not doors, but different scenarios in my life that I could possibly look at doing. I don't know if I'm done with the city life. I don't like traveling to the office every day, obviously, because you're stuck in traffic and you get to a point where you had enough. And when I've been doing what I've been doing remotely for the last 3 months, it's opened up my eyes to say, well, why can't I just do this all the time and just go into the office when I absolutely need to do that? And so I'm kind of looking at those options. I just need to know how to approach it with my workplace to say, I want to be working remotely 90% of the time and in the studio at the office, the other 10%. So that's been pretty heavy on my mind in the last couple of weeks, trying to figure out. And Gussie says, move back. Yeah, that's on my mind too, Gussie. Move back to NB, work from home. And that's the biggest thing. And if I can, that is the goal. And that was the goal for me from probably day one of moving here, knowing that someday I was going to go back, but still have the job and everything that I worked so hard to get come with me. Because I couldn't move back to New Brunswick and do what I'm doing now. It just, that industry really isn't there. There's not enough, everything is outside of there, and I'd have to move to the city to really do that. So I don't know. There's a lot of things to kind of think about, and we'll see. And my wife is in the same position. She's working remotely, and her company is open for her to do that on a more regular basis. And she might be in the place to be able to do that. And if, I don't know, we'll see. It's hard for me to say for sure, but Brad says, just saw you. Yeah, she walked back there. She's not used to me being on air past 8 o'clock, so she probably thinks I'm off. So that's why she wouldn't come on camera if otherwise. Trust me. Elaine is a little bit shy of the camera. I've asked her to come on with me to do a live stream, and we, to introduce her to you folks and take questions and stuff. She's just not into it. She's too shy. Maybe someday. I don't know. We'll see. City life blows. Yeah, Brian. Not that city, you know what? I really appreciate the things you have in the city. Like, I like being able to just leave here and go to a really nice music store or go see you used to be able to go see a baseball game or a concert or something like that. That type of stuff is really, you take it for granted when you have it around you all the time. But I don't know. I think the drawback of the city is I can't sit in traffic for 3 hours a day anymore. It doesn't appeal to me at all anymore. When I was a kid and I was just living that lifestyle and I was just whatever goes. But I think recently with this whole COVID thing, it's changed a few things, the way that I think. So we'll see. Metalhead says, love working from home, been doing it for the past 10 years. Yeah, and a lot of folks have been. And I think some folks don't like it, believe it or not. You know, they're not set up for it, first of all. And, you know, if you live in a condo and you don't really have a setup to work from home, or you have other people in the house and you're always, you know, it's a different situation for different folks. But if you're in a situation you can make it work, it's awesome. It really is. And as long as you're doing your work, that's the other thing. You know, you can be working from home and slacking off all day. But for me, I have tasks, I have certain projects and stuff. At the end of the year, if those things haven't been done, it's clear for everybody to see, right? It's there. But, you know, if that happens, then you have to tell that employee that you can't work from home. You have to work at the office, or you terminate, or whatever. But as long as you're doing your job, there's no downside to it, really. Yeah, Ben's on. I know I'm cutting into his time, but my whole stream was all screwed up, so I figured I'd stay on a little later, since this is really testing this stuff to see if it blows up again. I think it was the 720p thing that was really causing the issues that we were having earlier. I changed it to 480p now. Seems to be better, but, you know, who knows. Brian S. says, Elaine ain't shy. Come on. She's great when you meet her in person and stuff, but put her in front of a camera and she's not into it. Zach, you're doing good. Zach Thong. Yeah, I missed seeing you, Zach. We would have probably hung out a few weeks ago because it was Cosmo Fest if we weren't going through this COVID situation. But, oh well, it is what it is. Speaking of music again, going back to guitars, as a lot of you know, I've been looking for a custom shop Strat. I thought I'd found one, and I was kind of waiting it out a little bit because the guy was asking 3,800 Canadian, and I thought, you know, with everything going on with COVID, that it would probably start to go down in price a little bit. I made him a few offers, and he didn't really bite. So I said, let me wait this guy out a little bit and see, and then maybe get it at a better price. I waited too long. It sold last week, I think, so it's not there anymore, which sucks because it was really the one that I wanted. The ones that are there now on the Kijiji site that I look, there's a few that are interesting, but they're still overpriced for what they are. And you know, oh, it happens. I guess I waited too long, and it happens. But let me see. Brad says Denise and I are not going back to NB. Nothing there for us to go back. Yeah, see, you're in a different situation, Brad. Both for me, going back to New Brunswick that's where all our families is. My sister, her kids, my mom, Elaine's sisters and brothers. Everybody's there now, like, right? So it's, you know, how much time are we going to have with our moms? So they're getting older and stuff. So that's another reason. We only see them, like this year, if I get to go at Christmas, I'll only have seen them once, right? And because we can't go this summer, I was going to go next week. Next week was supposed to be, I was supposed to be playing live with a band at a big festival in New Brunswick. That would be the first time I'm playing live since the band Smeer broke up back in 2008, which is a huge thing. And I was going to be playing guitar, not bass, for the first time live with the band. So that was supposed to happen like next week, something. Yeah, Friday, July, whatever that first Friday of July is. And that all got scrapped with COVID. And now I can't even go in the summer, like the next 2 weeks that I'm off. I was going to go to New Brunswick anyway, maybe take a motorcycle ride out there, but we can't even cross the borders over there without self-isolating, and it's really strict. So we're not going anywhere. So we're going to stay in Ontario and just, you know, every day just go do something different in Ontario, I guess. So that's where we're at with that. Let me see if I'm missing anything here. I'm surprised that this is still working. I'm sorry that it didn't work earlier, but hey, whatever. Whatever. Let me see. I guess I can just share a couple of news items here, since I'm just going to go a few more minutes anyway, maybe till 8:30 here. Let me see if I can switch my screen to Safari. Go back here, and let me do, is it this one? ME1. All right, so that works. So 2 years ago today, we lost Mr. Vinnie Paul. Vinnie Paul passed away, and that was June 22nd, 2018. He was 54 years old, so pretty young. And it was natural cause. Apparently something with his heart gave out. But, I mean, this guy was a super hard partier. I'm sure as if you guys follow Pantera and those guys, they are... they never were shy about drinking and partying all night. So that probably took a toll on his body. And yeah, he passed away. And that was exactly 2 years ago in 2018. And he was at his Vegas home is where that happened. His brother got shot on stage, as most of you know, Dimebag. So, yeah, tragic for sure, for sure. And the other thing I saw today was ZZ Top is working on a new album. So, and I was surprised to learn that 2012 was their last studio album. They've released albums, a few albums since then, but I think they were greatest hits or something like that. So apparently this is the first one since then. And it's they're looking at songs that some of them they wrote 50 years ago. They probably had them, you know, as projects or something that they were just kind of working on. And they're going to bring them out and release them on this new album. So we should see a new ZZ Top album at some point. So we'll see. Hey, Guitar Hack, congratulations on the RO Guitar Hack. That's really cool, and I'm glad you found one. Other news, we've got Dave Grohl, Robert Plant, and Alice Cooper sent a letter signed by other folks like Neil Young and Ozzy Osbourne and Graham Nash, Billy Joel, to Congress, trying to get some support for a lot of music venues, because apparently a lot of the music venues that were quite popular and everything might not return. They're probably going to go under because of all this stuff, because they just can't open up their doors and get people to, you know, concerts and stuff can't happen. So they're trying to get Congress to give money to these venues and these, I guess, locations so that they can survive. So it'll be interesting to see after all is said and done who survived and who didn't. It's a kind of sad situation for sure. For sure. And in the last news, it happened yesterday, I believe. The most expensive guitar sold to auction ever happened yesterday, and it was Kurt Cobain's Martin, a 1959 Martin that he had modified somewhat. There's a pickup in there, and there's a couple of switches and things that he put in, but it sold for $6 million. And that is the most expensive or highest priced guitar ever to sell. So interesting. And the guy who bought it is the guy, well, you guys know Rode microphones. The guy who owns that company is the guy who bought that guitar. So I guess he's got some cash to spend, because he pulled out $6 million for a 1959 Martin acoustic, which apparently has been, you know, abused a little bit, let's say, being that it was Kurt's for many years. And yeah, it was a D18E, a Martin D18E in 1959. So $6 million. Wow. Here's a picture of it. I don't know if that'll come up or not. Let's see. There it is. $6 million for that, folks. Would you pay that? I don't think I would. But anyway, it's a collector thing, I suppose. But hey. And again, I talked about the guitar search. Here's the last four on the list. The one that I really wanted sold last week. The other one I've been watching is this 2014 Custom Shop. It did go down a little bit and went down by $250, but still too high, I believe, for me. I asked the guy if he would go down 38, 39. He's not willing to, not yet anyway. We'll see what happens. But the white one was the one I really wanted, but it sold. And I waited too long, and that happens sometimes. But this one is still up on the market. It's been there for a long time. But I think the guy Not that he's asking too much. It's just more than I'm willing to spend, I suppose. It's a 54 reissue. And then the other one, this 56 here is still on for 3,500, but I don't know. It's okay, but I don't know. It doesn't grab me like that other one that I wanted, the white one, Relic. It was a 56 neck and 56 reissue was really the one. I should have jumped on that, but I don't know. I'll find another one someday, but that's the guitar search. Let me go back to the screen. Cool. Let me go back to the chat real quick. $6 million for a guitar. I know, right? Yeah. And Kurt wasn't known for being nice to his guitars. That's for sure. So that would probably wrap up everything here. I'm sorry about the glitches at the beginning, and I had to restart the stream and do a bunch of stuff, but hopefully this is fixed. We'll have to do some more testing maybe this week. Check out Brian S. and the live wires tonight. Guitar Hacks on there with Dave R. They will be on at 9 o'clock Eastern, so definitely check them out. Ben's on right now if you want to jump over there. Thank you for hanging out with me during this time, and I'm sorry to Ben that I cut into some of his time. You know, it is what it is. I got to figure this stuff out, so the only time I can do it is Monday nights, really, when I have some time. But I'll try to do some more stuff this week. And then I'm on vacation starting Thursday, so next Monday is a toss-up whether or not there will be a show. It depends on what we're doing. But maybe while I'm on vacation, I'll come on in the afternoons or do some things, because I really need to get this stuff tested, because I'm using this environment for my work stuff. So it's real important that it works. Let's put it that way. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Let's see. That's good. That's good. All right. Let's call it a night. All right, folks. Have a great one. Stay safe out there, and I will catch you either next Monday, if not before then, or just after. We'll just keep an eye out on my channel, and just jump in when I'm live. But usually Monday nights at 7 o'clock is good to go. Just next week, I don't know yet. All right. Thanks for putting up with all the bullshit, but it happens. All right. Take care, folks.